What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Bulls related. And on today's episode, we'll be breaking down the Bulls' big win. I guess not big win, but big team win over the Minnesota Timberwolves. We'll also be giving an injury update on both Zach LaVine and Javonte Green, and talking about the Bulls' upcoming game tonight against OKC. We'll be doing all that and some more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central.
All right, Bulls fans. So let's start off right with the injury update. So Zach LaVine and Javonte Green are both listed as questionable for tonight's game against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Right now, Javonte Green's injury is listed as a mid-foot sprain. I know some people had worried about his wrist. Seems like it's just a sprain of his foot after that dunk and the way he fell down. So he's listed as questionable. Zach LaVine is also listed as questionable as well. Zach is the one I can honestly see a world in which Zach LaVine doesn't play tonight, especially because he's right now he's listed questionable with left knee management. So doesn't mean that necessarily anything's hurt. It seemed like his back was hurting him a little bit more. Considering it's a back-to-back going into the All-Star break, we have a game on Monday against the San Antonio Spurs. I fully expect Zach LaVine to not play in tonight's game. So what does that mean? That means we're going to have more team wins. We're going to have people step up, kind of like we did last night. Kobe White stepped up in a big way for the Bulls. Javonte Green stepped up in a big way as well. We also saw Ayo Dosunmu get another double-double and everything like that. And, it was a great team win from the Bulls last night. This was a game in which, even though their defense wasn't quite where I would have wanted to see it, I know they gave up 122 points, but outside of that, just some of the rotation, some of the activity there on defense really frustrated me last night from the Bulls. They were able to pull it out. They did kick up their defensive intensity towards the end of the game, which really helped them seal this game quite handedly in the fourth quarter. So with that being said, if Zach and Javonte don't play tonight, it's going to be interesting to see how the lineups go, because it's going to be difficult. The Bulls are really, really thin already, but like I've been saying and like I've been drilling home or trying to drill home is the fact that it's all about health for the Chicago Bulls. That is the biggest thing for this team, is to get back healthy, use that All-Star break to bring a couple people back. We're sitting at now 3 weeks since Lonzo Ball has been out. We know he's on the 6 to 8 week time frame. If he's been out 3 weeks, that means it's been about the same time, if not more, probably more like 4 weeks for Derrick Jones Jr. So get everyone back as healthy as possible, because we're going to start after the All-Star break, 2 to 3 weeks after the All-Star break, we're going to start seeing a lot of players come back, and the schedule definitely tightens up for the Bulls as well. So we're going to want to see those things as far as injuries all get back in gear. But as far as the game yesterday, let's just get back into it. Ayo Dosunmu with another double-double of 14 points, 10 assists, 3 steals, only 1 turnover from Ayo Dosunmu. Just a great game. But the key, the player that, especially in the first half and in the second half, especially when we were really sealing that game, that really showed out was in many ways Javonte Green with 23 points, his highest, I think, scoring total of his career. I know it's definitely the one of his tenure here on the Bulls. Then also DeMar DeRozan with 35 points as well. And then we had another big game from Nikola Vucevic. Nikola is really, his confidence now of going inside and then letting the outside game come to him is really working very well for him. It's something that I know a lot of Bulls fans have been calling for a long time, and it's good that we're really starting to see it. Nikola Vucevic with 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 26 points, only 1 turnover coming from Nikola Vucevic. It was just a great game from him as well. I would have liked to see more offensive rebounds, no offensive rebounds as well. The Bulls as a team only had, I think, less than 10 offensive rebounds total. But with that being said, we did win the rebounding battle by double digits. I think we had 43 rebounds to the Minnesota Timberwolves, 32 rebounds. So we definitely won the rebound battle. That's always going to help the Bulls. The Bulls, who had 9 turnovers in the first half, ended the game with only 13 turnovers. So they really tightened that up in the second half of the game. And those were the key things outside of the balance scoring, outside of having the 6 players scoring double figures. Those were the type of things that helped this team be able to win this game, especially in the second half. They did not have a down third quarter. They tied the third quarter after going into the half up by 1 point, and they end up winning the fourth quarter by 11 points, with really just sealed that win for the Chicago Bulls. It was a really, really good win for our team last night. Let me know what you guys thought about the win down below. What do you guys think about the possibility of missing Javonte Green and Zach LaVine in tonight's game, and who could step up in that place? As far as like keys, I know I try to give keys to things when we talk about the Bulls games and upcoming games and things like that, but I really don't have any keys. At the end of the day, because the Bulls are so thin, especially if they're missing Zach, especially if they're missing Javonte, it's going to be executing. One thing that we did see in last night's games is that the Bulls have gotten back to ball movement. They had several possessions in which, I think the first score of the game, every player on the court touched the ball before we ultimately scored, and we had really beautiful ball movement throughout the game last night. Throughout the game, Zach LaVine with 4 assists, DeMar DeRozan with 6 assists, Javonte Green with 4 assists. Those are all things that really kick in and show a great team as far as moving the ball around. Overall, last night we had 32 assists last night. Great contributions from the team as far as moving the ball around, and that's what we need to see, especially if you're talking about a team that's going to be even more depleted than what they already are in this upcoming game. So, with that being said, it was just really good to see from the team, and I left with a lot of positivity. Tonight, with Oklahoma City Thunder, another sub 500 team, the Bulls are going on a streak of, this is now the second game that they have played in a 4-game stretch in which all teams they play all teams at home, and they're all sub 500 teams. We still have Oklahoma City and San Antonio coming up before we head into the All-Star break. How the Bulls play in these games is going to be key, but rest is going to be a big factor as well, especially when you see like Zach LaVine winching and things like that. But we're gearing up. I know a lot of Bulls fans were really upset by the fact that the Bulls did not make a move. I know a lot of Bulls fans think that shows that this team is either being cheap or whatever else. But at the end of the day, we have more than enough to compete once we're all fully back healthy and playing this style of basketball. Continue building that culture. It's going to be easy to fit players back in when you're playing with an open style of play, when you're just passing the ball around to get that open shot. It's going to be easy to incorporate players back. So when we look at bringing players back and think about how long is it going to take for them to get in rhythm, it can be quite easy to get in rhythm when you're playing with the ball and freedom of ball movement like that, we have been the last 2 games at least, and we want to keep that going heading into the All-Star break. Let me know what you think down below. We're going to be some of the keys against the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight. But yeah, that's really it for me for today. I wanted to wait to get this video out. I wanted to wait to get an update on Javonte Green specifically. We also got one on Zach LaVine as well. But we'll continue to monitor. It seems like Patrick Williams is on track to come back. I've been saying for a while now, I really do think Patrick Williams is just going to be listed from out to all of a sudden it's going to be probable. All of a sudden one game, and we'll see when that comes. But as of right now, we're really geared in by mid-March to have just about everybody back, if not really nearing a return, which really would put everyone, like I said, it seems like we're going to have about 10 to 15 games of everyone being healthy before we head into the playoffs, and that's going to be key. The Bulls are now tied with the Cleveland Cavaliers for second place in the Eastern Conference. For those who care about seeding, I know I don't really care about seeding at this part in the season, but I wanted to mention it because I know some people do. That's it for me for today. That's it. Make sure you're following the podcast at Bulls Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullscentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave us a voicemail, you can do so at 773-270-2799. Like I like to end everything on. Go Bulls. Love you guys. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.